Please read the disclaimer. Tap Next when you're ready to continue. Congratulations on your new role as a primary instruction assistant. In this module, we will cover the following topics. At the end of each section, we will provide key points to keep in mind. To confirm your understanding of the content, a knowledge check activity will be included at the end. Tap on the button to begin. What is primary instruction? Primary instruction is an instructional stage at the beginning of the Kumon study for all students regardless of starting level, age, or ability. We can also define primary instruction as meaningful instruction that develops the skills and mindset for self-learning. For new students, their experience in primary instruction can enable them to study above grade level material smoothly by developing good study habits right from the start. There are 3 skills: proper study approach, work skills, and study attitude. The primary instruction assistant plays a vital role in developing these skills each class day. We will further define the skills in the role of the primary instruction assistant. First, let's watch a video that provides an ideal image of a student who has gone through primary instruction at a Kumon Center and sits in the main classroom. As you watch the video, think about what the student is able to do and how they approach studying the worksheets.
Read the story and circle the time taken. Jingle, jingle, we can hear the sound. You, blank, use my computer. You may use my computer. I know you, may.
What did you notice about the student? Select all that apply, then click Submit. That's right. This student transitioned from primary instruction to the main classroom. She knows the class routine, study procedures, and works independently. As a result of the student's work in primary instruction, she knows to start her worksheet study quickly and reads directions prior to starting her study. After completing her work and having it graded, she was able to find mistakes by herself and gave it a try on her own. A PI assistant can feel they have been successful in their role if students can study in the main classroom with good study habits. In addition, assistants gain the feeling of contributing to the development of students and the instructor's vision for students studying in primary instruction. Let's learn more about the role of the PI assistant that can achieve this image of a student studying in the main classroom. The role of the PI assistant is to carry out the instructor's intention for each student each class day. Instructors are not able to work directly with new students in most centers, so the assistant must understand the instructor's goal for each student's study and what should be achieved each class day. Let's consider a quick example of what this might look like in practice. Let's watch one video of how the instructor may share their intention or expectations for a newly enrolled student.
I just observed Ivan's placement test. I wanted to go over it with you. So first few pages is pretty good. The thing I noticed was that when he was reading the numbers, he sometimes rushes through. So instead of 21, 22, 23, he's going 21, 22, 23, 24.
Oh, okay.
Just reading really quickly,
Yeah.
not really reading it. So that might be something we need to look out for.
Okay,
For the
definitely.
first day, though, he's very shy. He's a little hesitant.
Okay.
What I really want you to focus on is positive day.
Okay,
Making him feel
definitely.
good, building that confidence up.
Yep.
All right?
Definitely.
Great, thanks.
No problem.
What did the instructor ask the PI assistant to focus on for the student's first class day? That's right. The correct answer is study attitude. The instructor shared that the student was shy, and the most important thing for the student's first class day was to ensure it was positive and to focus on building the student's confidence. With this information, the assistant can now consider how to create this type of experience for the student. The second role of a PI assistant is to help new students understand the basic study flow. This slide shows the typical basic study flow. Before studying, students need to exchange their homework, separate worksheets while previewing the contents, and write their name and starting time. During studying, students need to read directions, solve problems, and turn the pages by themselves. After studying, students need to write their ending time, submit classwork to graders or the PI assistant, and do corrections. Please note that the study flow differs center by center, so please confirm the basic study flow with your instructor. Now that we know the basic study flow and the instructor's intention for the first class, which is to build the student's confidence, let's watch a video of the assistant in action over 2 class days.
Okay, so the time, you can see it right there. Excellent. Now, write the numbers. Beautiful. Then what we're going to do is just put the B side in one pile. So write the numbers. Excellent. Now we're just going to slide it over. Write the numbers. And then we go to the B side. Beautiful. So we just, from the B side, we just slide it over. Okay? Great. Write the numbers. Let's flip this all to let's go back to the first page. And now that we're back in the first page, you see your name, the time you started, and now let's write the time we ended. So excellent. So now that you have completed your worksheet, you can take it to the math grader. So you can take it to Mr. Jeff. Thank you. So now we're going to wait for our corrections, okay? Great. So, wow, you got 100 in 10 minutes. This is amazing. What I really want you to do and pay attention is that when you do your homework at home, try to remember to write your start time and your end time, just like you did here, okay? And then always write your name because we need to know who did this, okay? Great. So, great job today. And I'll see you on Thursday. Wow, Ivan. You did a great job writing your time, and you did both of them in 10 minutes. Wow, awesome job. All right, so now, where's your homework here? All right. Take this out. And just like on the first day, right in the pouch. And now we're going to put the homework that you did Excellent job. Now can you take your classwork out? Excellent job. Now the folder, you're going to take it to the math page. So that bin over there, you're going to take it and you're just going to place it right there. Do you think you can read the directions all by yourself? Try it.
Read the numbers in order while pointing to each one.
Great. So that's
1,
okay.
2,
Do you mind putting your hand? So let's put your hand holding the page and then can you read the numbers?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 28, 29, 30.
28. 28.
28,
Let's point together.
28, 29, 30.
Beautiful. Let's check the box when you're finished reading. Nice.
In this video, the assistant was attentive to ensure the student felt supported right from the start. The assistant focused on the basic study flow so the student feels confident in what they do before studying, during studying, and after studying the worksheets. The assistant also provided encouragement and recognized the student's efforts, regardless of how small they may seem. The assistant gave praise to Ivan right from the start for remembering what to do and completing his homework. The assistant kept the instructor's intention in mind of building his confidence. Over a few class days, the assistant used a positive tone and gave specific praise to reinforce positive behaviors. Assistants have direct interaction with students, so providing feedback to the instructor about the student's progress and study helps the instructor in making lesson planning decisions and provides insight as to when the student may be ready for a new development goal or to study in the main classroom. Let's move to our next topic. When an instructor is sharing their intention for students, they likely will ask PI assistants to focus on 1, 2, or all of these skills, depending on the student. Assistants should confirm with their instructor when they feel uncertain as to where to start with a student. Let's quickly define the skills PI assistants should be mindful of when working with students in primary instruction. Proper study approach enables students to study worksheets smoothly and gain a level of independence when they first study the Kumon worksheets. Regardless of the subject a student is studying, it is good for PI assistants to instill these habits into students right from the very beginning of their Kumon study. Assistants can verbally share the proper study approach with students from the first class day. This ensures students understand the basic way to solve worksheets. Since students are expected to follow the same study approach at home, confirming they understand these expectations when completing their classwork is an important task for PI assistants. For new students, building these habits are essential to ensure they can study in the main classroom with independence and study material beyond their school grade level smoothly. Tap on each button to learn more. Studying with concentration. Guide students to work without taking their eyes off the worksheet. Encourage them to keep their pencil moving. Tap another button. Writing neatly and carefully. Students can be instructed to write neatly and carefully to avoid making errors. If you notice this on homework, we can encourage the student to write neatly and carefully on their classwork and give praise when they are able to do it. Tap another button. Reading the information in the worksheets carefully before writing answers. Students can be instructed to read all information on the page, including the directions, before writing. Assistants can keep a watchful eye for students who start writing without reading information first. Tap another button. Erasing only what is necessary when making corrections. This type of guidance is given to students when they need to make corrections. Assistants should coach students on the proper way to correct, which is to erase only the part that is incorrect. This approach helps students learn from their mistake to avoid making the same mistake on a future worksheet. Let's watch a few videos of assistants instilling the proper study approach.
Say the sounds of each word part into boxes. Then read the whole word as you trace the letters.
Chandra, it's nice that you've noticed the pattern. You try instead to go do the problems in order.
Okay.
The PI assistant should understand the directions and notes in the worksheets and ensure that the students read everything on the page. Although it takes time to learn the worksheets, while observing students completing the worksheets, we can learn some of the details. On this worksheet, 4A 143B, students need to fill in the circle with the missing number. However, there is guidance for one space where the student does not need to write. The PI assistant can watch closely to ensure students have followed the directions. It is one reason we want to be very attentive to students as they solve the worksheets. Let's discuss the next skill. The next skill a PI assistant instills in students is work skills. Work skills are the ability to concentrate on a good amount of worksheets and complete them quickly without stopping. PI assistants should train students to keep their pencil moving and work without removing their eyes from the worksheet. We want students to move from the A side to the B side of the worksheet quickly and start on the next page immediately. In the reading worksheets, students should read passages quickly and read to the end without stopping. Work skill development supports building the necessary concentration students need to support their Kumon study in the higher levels. PI assistants can observe students' concentration and coach them on the specific areas to improve and give encouragement to reinforce positive behaviors. Let's move on to the final skill. PI assistants are responsible for creating a good learning experience for students. Students should feel that the Kumon Center is a place where the instructor and assistants care about them and they can learn and grow. It is important for PI assistants to instill a good study attitude as soon as possible once students start the Kumon program. Study attitude does not mean that students love Kumon. However, what this means is that students are motivated to do their work, classwork, and homework. They prefer to attempt problems by themselves, and even when something is difficult, they can maintain a positive attitude when studying something new or challenging. The role of the PI assistant is to build the appropriate study habits in students from day one so students can eventually gain the skills necessary to work in the main classroom independently. During your time as a PI assistant, you will focus on developing these 3 core skills: proper study approach, work skills, and study attitude. As students develop these skills and consistently demonstrate them while under the attentive eye of the PI assistant, we can ensure their readiness for the main classroom. Remember, it is important to talk with your instructor and share information about the student's skill, as the instructor will want your insight about the student's readiness to work independently. The PI assistant plays an important role in the center. Most newly enrolled students start their Kumon journey in primary instruction. What they learn about Kumon and how to study the Kumon worksheets all starts in this part of the center. PI assistants communicate regularly with the instructor to confirm expectations and short-term goals for students. PI assistant is able to ensure the foundation for studying has been properly established before students move on to a more independent study environment. It is important to keep in mind the instructor's intention for each student's development, know which skill is the focus of development, and make it happen each class day. This concludes the learning content for the role of the Primary Instruction Assistant online learning module. It's time for a knowledge check activity. Let's get started.